Everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful long crochet mesh dress. Before we get started, I just want to point out a couple things. So the first thing is that this is not my design. I took inspiration from Pinterest. The second thing is that you don't have to follow my pattern to a T. You can change and alter the pattern accordingly, because if you're smaller or bigger than me, you will have to do more or less rows. Thirdly, measure as you go, because you don't want to be like me and discover once you've finished the dress that the straps are too long, and then you'll have to use an elastic to hold the straps back, which I really actually don't mind. I quite like it. I feel like it makes the neckline more rounded, which I like. So, you know, when there's a will, there's a way. And then fourthly, if that's the right number, once you've finished your dress, I would recommend blocking it. So what you can do to block it is, well, this is what I did, I don't know if it was right, is I put it in cold water with some conditioner to make it like softer, and then I let it sit for a bit, then I rinsed it out and then wringed the dress like that to get all the water out, which I don't think you're meant to do, but it worked. And then I put down towels and then like spread the dress out nicely. And what I think blocking does is make the stitches more original, or more like themselves, like more, it gives it more shape. Like previously, like you couldn't, like the stitches were moving everywhere. So like I really recommend doing blocking. I think it's a game changer. But, and if you don't understand how I did it, there's so many videos of what you can do to block. So I'm just going to insert a little clip to show you what you're going to get yourself into. So hopefully you will enjoy and find this tutorial helpful. But let's cue the clips and get the tutorial rolling. So this is the final piece done. You can change how you do the straps. I wish I could show you with it like further down, but you can see it. Here's the back where I did the straps here, but you can literally make them long enough to crisscross and it's still gorgeous. So this is it. I wish maybe let me put you here so you can see more. You can see the dress, you can't see the length of it. So what you'll need is a ball of cotton, and here's just the label, it came off. I'll give it a little 360. I believe it's double knit. And then I'm using a 2.5mm crochet hook. So we're going to start by making a slip stitch. And then you're going to put your needle through the slip stitch and make a chain that is long enough to fit, like, not around your waist, but like half your waist, like on the front or the back, because we're working with panels. So I'm doing a chain of 100 or 95. I'll just have to see. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I just want to show you this chain that you made. You want it to be long enough to fit around half, or one panel, like halfway around your waist, if not a little bit bigger, and then your hips. So I've done a chain of 90. It might be too big, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Rather too small than too short, because what you can do also is just add on rows on the side. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take out another 5 to make 85. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to chain 1 and then single crochet in every single stitch until the other side, and then we will start with the mesh stitch. So pretty simple. Don't know if you can see. That's a single crochet, and you're just going to do that till the end of the... Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start with our mesh stitch. So that is, we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why 8? Because we're doing treble crochet, so I do 4 chains to make one treble, no, 3 chains to make one treble crochet, and then chain 4 is what we're going to do to separate each stitch. So now we're going to skip 4 stitches. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and in that 4th stitch we're going to make a treble crochet. So wrap the yarn around your needle twice, insert into that 4th stitch, catch the yarn, pull it through, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. Catch the yarn, pull through 2 loops, catch the yarn, pull through 2 loops again, and then catch the yarn, pull through 2 loops. So that's your treble crochet, and that's our mesh stitch. So this is what I mean, kind of counts as 1, that's our chain 4, then treble crochet. Then we do 1, 2, 3, 4, wrap the yarn around our needle twice, and skip 4 stitches. So skip 3 stitches and work into the 4th stitch. So we 1, 2, 3, 4, and then insert. And then you just repeat this until the end of the row. 1, 2, 4. So I'll meet you once I've done that. So we're working into that last stitch there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start the next row. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then flip your work around, and then make a treble crochet into that gap. Then you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then treble crochet into that gap. So this is basically your mesh stitch. It's super simple, and you basically chain 4, then treble crochet into every gap. So that's how you do it, and then when you get to that end stitch, you'll do your treble crochet, chain 8, flip your work around, and then work into the first gap. But I'll meet you at the end of the row just to show you one more time what to do with regards to the side. So chain 4, we're going into that last stitch with our treble crochet. Then we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to flip your work around and then treble crochet into that first gap. And I just want to show you that it won't be exactly straight, but it doesn't go outwards. Like, this doesn't allow for the stitch to jut outwards, and I'll show you what I mean. So here's the other mesh panel that I've done, and you can see that it doesn't increase outwards. It will only increase outwards if you start increasing in some stitches. So what I mean by that is when you go into the stitch twice and you create more holes than what you have been doing the whole time. So this remains a straight panel, provided there's no increases. And you can see, it's so simple. So yeah, I'll meet you once we've done the other panel. So I just want to show you. So here's the one panel, front panel, and this goes all the way down to my knees, and it stops just under my boobs. So, and this is 61 rows. But now what's going to happen is I'm going to start decreasing on both sides, and then we're going to stop crocheting when we get into the middle, and then decrease a little bit to make it rounded, and then you start with the straps. And then I will show you how to do that, and then we're going to make the back panel. But yeah, with regards to the length, it doesn't have to be long like mine. Yours can be knee length, however you want it really. I just want it long. So I hope I can explain this as best as I can. But yeah. So this is 61 rows, and the length is from my ankles just to under my boobs. Yours may vary according to your height, or however long you want the dress. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start the armholes. Well, not really armholes, but create a nice shape for the armholes. So to do that, we're going to decrease in a few rows. So 1, 2, 3. Instead of chaining 8, so we're going to chain 4. And then I'm not going to work into this gap here. I'm going to work into this gap because we're decreasing, right? And we're going to make a treble crochet. So you can see that stitch was skipped. And then now we're just going to chain 4 and then work your treble crochet to the other side. And I'll meet you once we're at the other side, and I'll show you how to decrease. Okay, so we've come to the end of the row, and I don't know if you can see, so we worked that gap, second to last gap, and then I didn't chain 4, so I just did a treble crochet to close the gap. So let me actually maybe just show you. So here's our, so I've worked, and then we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, flip your work around, and now we are going to go into that first stitch there with, I'm going to go into that first stitch there with a treble crochet. And then we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4 and work your way to the other side, and I'll meet you at the other side to decrease. So you can see here's our last, well, there's that decrease that we did. So what we're going to do now is, I'm actually just going to, so we're going to work that stitch, and then we're not going to chain 4, we're just going to work a treble crochet into that last gap there, so you can see, because that's where we decreased the last time, so we skipped that stitch, remember, in the first row. So now what we're going to do is chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, flip your work around, and then I'm not going to work in that stitch, I'm going to work into this gap here. You can see. And then we're just going to repeat this when we get to the other side. So I'll meet you once we're there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to, like we've been doing the whole time, not chain 4, go into that end stitch with a treble crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, flip your work around, and then go into that gap. then we chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you just repeat. And I don't know if you can see the top going in to create that armhole. I mean, not top, but the dress going in to create the arm. So we are on our 65th row and we are still making the armholes. But now for our 66th row, we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're basically just going to repeat what you have been doing for the entire time. Well, for the armholes, so we're not going to go into that stitch, we're just going to do our treble crochet into the next stitch. Then I'm going to chain 4, and then I'm going to work 1, 2, so that's one gap, that's the second gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, third gap, 1, 2, 3, no, 3, 4, and then we're going to work the fourth gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to work 5 gaps from that end, and then what we're going to do is chain 1, 2, 3, 4, flip your work around and work a double crochet. So let me just show you. So we're not working the whole row, we're only working 5 stitches of the row. Actually, maybe let's call it 4 stitches of the row, because this is going to make our neckline, so this is going to be rounded, not rounded, it's just going to go up, so it's going to be 4. Maybe let me show you a picture. So we're going to make this part here, and what I can see there is, yeah, so now we're just making this neckline. And I think I'm going to do it how I want to do it. I think, actually, we're not even 4 stitches. So I'm going to go for, let's call it 3 gaps. Let's call it 3 gaps. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip your work around. And then double crochet. Treble crochet. Then you chain 1, 2, 3, 4. And then treble crochet, 1, 2, no, not 4, you go to that end there and we just make our treble crochet, 1, 2, and then we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, not that gap, and then treble 4, actually not chain 4, so that's how we decrease, and then you get less stitches, and then now we only have 2, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then use the gap there. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, gap. See, so now you can see that's our neck, well, our armhole. So you can see there's the armhole and the neckline, which will become more rounded when we go over it with the border. But that's for a later stage. We're going to repeat this until the strap is long enough. So also, if you want a thicker strap, do more rows than what I have done. But yeah, not rows, work into more stitches as to what I've done. So yeah, it's pretty simple and very customizable, so you can just adjust the pattern accordingly. And then also you just measure how it sits on you. So, and then just do what you need to do. So I'll meet you once I've done the straps and then starting this side. So now we're gonna start with this side, well, the next side here. And I'm just gonna grab my yarn that we've been working with and I'm gonna make a slip stitch. Actually, yeah, no, we're gonna make a slip stitch. And then I'm gonna get the slip stitch on my needle and we're gonna start with a standing treble. So yarn around your needle twice, hold it down. Then we're gonna go into that gap there, well, like the stitch. Okay, maybe go into the hole. Just get my needle there and then pull it through, pull through two, pull through two, pull through two. Okay, and then we're gonna chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and then obviously not work that gap, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're basically just mirroring what we did for the other one, because we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to just go into that gap here, the next gap, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then actually remember this one we're not chaining 3, we actually not chaining at all, so we just go into the treble into that second well, in that last gap, and we 1, 2, 3, 4, flip your work around, and then go into that first gap, the treble, then chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go into that gap, and then we're not chaining, remember, because we're decreasing here, and then we chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, flip your work around, and then we do the treble, oh no, I've gone into the wrong stitch. Oh no, I'm not chaining, I'm not meant to be chaining here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the gap. And then we start with the strap, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that we've done the front panel, we are going to start the back panel. So this is what the front panel looks like. It's just mesh, mesh, mesh. You can see, and then here's the top of it. so. And then now what we're going to do is start the back panel. So you're basically just going to repeat what you did for the front panel, the exact same. So they're going to be the same, but instead you're going to go for like less rows. So for the back panel, basically we did the same amount of stitches. We basically mirroring what we did for the front panel, except I've gone for 53 rows instead of 61 rows. So the back is lower than the front. And why that is because we're gonna make like a curved back, and this is like, it's gonna go like that. I don't know if that makes any sense. So the back's gonna go like that, and then it's gonna slim, like the strap's gonna be thin. Now I'm just gonna show you how to do that. So I'm gonna chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is a bit different to how we did the front. We're not decreasing on this side. We're only going to be decreasing from this side. So we do our treble crochet. And then chain 1, 2, 3, 4. We go for 6 gaps, so you do 6 stitches. Then we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip your work around, and we are going to do a treble crochet into that first gap. Then 2, 3, 4. And then you just repeat this until we go to the other side. Two, 3, 4. So I don't know how to explain this, but we're going to be decreasing from only this middle, from this side here, not this side. This side we continue going straight, so this is going to go up like that. So we're at the end of the row. We're going to chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flip your work around and then treble crochet. And then you continue until we get there where we're gonna, I'll meet you at the end of the row. And then here you can see we've got those last 2 stitches. I'm not gonna go into that one or that one. I'm just gonna work into the actual treble crochet stitch. So, see? And then you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a treble crochet in that first stitch. 2, 3, 4. And then we worked a treble into that last stitch, and then we're going to chain 8 because we're on the side where we are not decreasing, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, and then treble crochet to that first gap, and then we're going to work until there where we're going to just, I'll meet you once we're there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can see that stitch is open there, so we're going to go into it. Well, not the stitch is open, but we're going to go into that treble crochet, and there we go. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip your work around and then continue. So that's how we decrease for this. and we're going to be decreasing until we have one left, like one gap left. So we've been decreasing for 10 rows, and I'm coming towards the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wrap your yarn around, and then you can see it. So I'm not going into that gap, I'm just going into that one there, like we've been doing the whole time. And then that should leave us with one more, with one gap. And then now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then do a treble crochet. So you can see that's where we're decreasing. So this side will be crocheted to the front panel, and then this side is open, and this is where we'll do the other one, where it will go up like that, and it will become like a circle low back. And then again, I'm just going to continue doing this until it is long enough. Yours will vary, yours might not be exactly the same as mine, obviously, because we all got different sizes, so you're just gonna have to adjust and see how it goes and try it on and fit it as you go, you know. You're just gonna repeat what we did for this side, and then you're just gonna do it on this side. So I'll meet you once this side is complete and we've done the entire back panel. Okay, so we've done our one side, and I'm just going to show you how to start the other side, and then you'll basically just repeat what we have to do. What we did on this one, for this back strap. To start, I've done a slip stitch, and then I'm going to wrap the yarn around my needle twice to do a standing treble crochet. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into them, and you're going to do a treble crochet, and then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go into that gap, so we've done 6 gaps. Then we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work a treble crochet into that gap. And we're just going to start the whole decreasing process like we did for the other side. We're just mirroring it. So I'll meet you once this is complete. Okay, so here's your front panel, and then here's your back panel. And now what we're going to do is we are going to crochet the front and back panel together, firstly by the top here, so you'll single crochet them together, and then we're going to crochet them down, so it will be like this. Let me get the back panel. So you'll crochet them together at the top, and then so they'll be like that, joined there, joined there. Then where we started decreasing in the front panel, the back panel to the front panel from like where we started decreasing, and you're going to crochet all the way down on this side, and then on this side we're gonna start from the same same place, opposite side, and we're gonna single crochet up until like there, because I want a leg slit. I want this dress to have a slit in it, but if you don't want a slit in it, that's fine. You can crochet all the way down. So basically, once you've done that, the dress is finished. And I'm gonna meet, actually it's not finished, we're gonna have to do a border of single crochet. So I'll meet you once I've crocheted everything together, and I'm ready to make a border of single crochets. So I'll meet you once that is done. Now I quickly just want to show you how to crochet them together. So you can see that there's like, I think there's 3 or 4 here. So you do like 3 single crochets, like, because if you did 1 it would make it shrivel. So you just like make it up, like you do like multiple stitches in between like each thing. So you'll go like 3 there, and then single crochet that together, 3 single crochets, and then like there, you know, just like that. So there's enough stitches, you know, like just freehand it, but do enough stitches so your work doesn't shrivel up, you know. Okay, so I've crocheted up the side, and before we cut off the yarn, I just want to show you how to make the border from the side upwards. So the border is gonna go around the neckline, so like all the way around, and then around the back, so that should all meet up. But once you have completed sewing together the sides, I would definitely recommend going straight from crocheting up the side into doing the border for the strap, like around the armhole, just to avoid less messiness. So that's it for the border, and then it's basically just 3 single crochets in every single stitch. And then once you have sewn up the other side of the dress, I would recommend doing the same, going straight into the border for the armhole. I'll meet you once I have crocheted all the way around this border, well, armhole. And now I'm crocheted all the way around, and I'm just gonna end the row by doing a slip stitch, and then I'm gonna cut off the yarn, but I don't have scissors, so I'm gonna bite it. And then you pull the yarn through and then fasten it off, and then you can either take like a embroidery needle and weave it away through your work, or you can just do it like this. Yeah, I'm just doing it like this, and then I'll cut it off later when I find scissors. And then now what we're going to do is I'm going to do this for the other side of the dress. Okay, so now we are going to do the border that goes around the, the big border, let's call it the main border. We'll go all the way down and around the back and the other side of the straps. So basically you're just going to do the same thing. I think I'm just going to go here. You can start anywhere, to be honest. You don't have to start exactly anywhere. And then you're going to make a slip stitch, and then you're just going to make your 3 or 4 single crochets in every stitch. So, well, gap, not stitch. You can crochet in the chains if you want, but I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just crocheting and just going for it. So I'll meet you once this is completed. And then we have basically finished crocheting around the main part, and then what you're going to do is slip stitch, pull the yarn through once you've cut it off, and then weave away your yarn. If you have an embroidery needle, I would recommend using that more so than this, I think, because you can get rid of the string in a more disguisable way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, I'm just gonna, when I find some scissors, I will cut this off and deal with it later. But let me just show you the borders. You can see here's the borders on this inside strap, and then around the top, and then on both sides you can see under the armhole, and then here's the border that goes around the back of the dress. You can see. But anyway, now what we're gonna do now, once our borders are complete, you're gonna want to, where your armhole begins, like here, I'm making a strap so I can tie my work. Well, not my work, tie my dress at the back, which I think would be better, but it's entirely up to you. I want to do it like this, so I am. So what we're going to do is get your yarn, and I'm going to start by making a slip stitch, and then we're going to start with a treble crochet. I actually think I'm going to go in here. Yeah, that's perfect. So you're going to put the slip stitch on your needle, wrap the yarn around your needle twice, and we're going to do a standing treble crochet. So you're going to go into the stitch with, and then pull through two, and then pull through two, and then we're going to do another treble crochet right next to that, and then I think I'm going to squeeze in another treble crochet, and then I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, flip my work around, start with a treble crochet into that first gap, and then into the second gap. And so we're basically just working with 3 treble crochets. That's your strap for the back, and then I'll meet you, and you'll make this however long you want. I'm gonna make 2 on either side, and I want it lengthy so you can, like, not that long, but I want it long enough so you can see the bow. So it's not just long enough to make a knot, like a nice bow with some leftover yarn, like strap, you know. So I'll meet, and then once you have done this strap, you'll basically just mirror what you've done on this side for the other side, and then I'll basically meet you once the dress is complete and everything is tucked away or the strings are away. So let me quickly just show you what you'll do for the other side. Just mirror it. So go in here with your treble crochet and just join it, or you don't even have to be precise, you can just like fold it in half and see where you need to go, you know. So I'll meet you once we're done. So here's the back. I made the straps too long, so be aware, like keep trying it on as you go. I was a little bit impulsive, so what I've done is I've taken an elastic and joined it here instead of having, because I don't feel like taking it out, so it just also I find makes the neckline more rounded, which is flames. But yeah, this is it. Oh, and I made the straps long enough so I can crisscross it, but you can do the straps like the back strap wherever you want. Like you don't have to put it there, you can put it there, you can do whatever you want with it. It's so customizable, and that's what makes it so nice.